is Morgan Rasmussen here, Managing Director, and we have
Kelly Weber, Executive Director, and we're going to do a video for you today on the 4 main objections you are probably going to hear with Beauty Counter when you're asking somebody to join you in this mission and doing the same thing that you're doing.
Yeah, and guys, objections are just a part of this business. They happen to all of us. They happen all the time.
Yep.
It's actually a good thing. That means you're putting yourself out there, and objections usually just mean that people just don't have all the information that they need to make that more informed decision. So that's our job, is to make sure people get their questions answered and they get the information that they need, so that then they can move forward and make that decision on whether this is a right fit for them or not. So let's start with the first one. What's the first one that you hear all the time?
Well, let me jump in really quick, because I think the other thing too is they want to know if you have a plan for them. So when you say, I don't know how this is going to look, and you come back with these questions and ask, you want to see if this person has it figured out too. Are they kind of like me? Do they have similar struggles? How did it look for them? So I think
I agree. It's kind of, chameleonizing yourself with your prospect, and, kind of, I always say, do your research on your prospect. Figure out what they're about. Are they a new mom? Are they working full time? Find out everything that you can about that person, so you can also be relatable to them.
Absolutely. So, and I think moving into that, the first question we hear is like, I don't have any time for this. I am a mother of 2. I work full time.
Plate is full.
Plate is full. My husband travels. I'm on the PTA. I run the soccer group.
Yeah, we all hear the time constraint, and I think that is awesome for us, because if we all look back at when we all joined Beauty Counter, nobody has time to do this. Let's face it. Like, this is something that we all just felt really passionate about, whether it was the products or the mission or the brand or the business opportunity or the income potential, and we jumped in. So I think we can all tell a really relatable story to our prospects of saying, you know what, here's what my life looked like when I joined Beauty Counter. And, for me personally, I was 2 weeks out from having our first baby. I was working full time. When we say plate was full, it was full. I had no I had no business jumping in and doing this. And I'm very straightforward with my prospects, saying, there's just never a good time to start a business. But at the same time, I knew that me not jumping in at that time, I could potentially be missing out on something really wonderful. And I think that they now see that 3 years later of, wow, she was busy, but she made time for it because it was important. And she had a great mentor along the way. And I think that's also part of it, is showing them that you're going to be that mentor who's going to, help them manage that time and figure out what they can and can't commit from a time standpoint, and how to work this business in those little bits of their day. Right. So, and same for you. I mean, when you jumped in, you were, I would say, just as busy, if not busier than I was.
Yeah. So, working a full-time job, 2 kids, husband traveled all the time, but the thing is, neither one of us could say no to it. Right. So you knew you were going to make it work. You just had to figure out how to make it work. And I think showing them how you did it in the beginning too, and just bring it back to basics. I committed an hour every other day after the kids went to bed. Or on my lunch hour, I dropped off samples. Or after work,
showing them how easy it can be. Right. I mean, it doesn't, I think people get the perception in what they see of what we're doing on social media that, oh my gosh, I could never do what they do because they're spending all this time. But what they don't know is, it's just these little 15-minute things that we're doing throughout our day that just we fit it into our day. So I think sometimes addressing some of these objections that you think you might actually get back in your first outreach to them is going to kind of avoid, or at least give that relatability factor back to them of like, oh wow, she was busy, but she made it work, or
or I know you're crazy busy, but I also know that you can work this on the soccer field,
or just like I did, and this is how I did it, and I'm going to show you how to do it too. So giving them that confidence that that they can find the time too, and it's really not as crazy intense as it could potentially seem on the outside looking in. So then the next one, we hear a lot, you guys. We all hear this. I don't have any extra money. We all hear it. No money. Got no money.
Got no money. So, oh, I love that one. I really love that one. We know that starting a business is an investment, and the barrier to entry on this one is really, really, really low. Even though I know that initial $250, $450, $750 out of your pocket is an investment, but what I always say is, first off, I address that I know this isn't free.
Right.
If it was free, everybody would do it, right? But when you make an investment, you have skin in the game.
Absolutely.
And then you also have all of these products to put back to work, and you also have your employees, right? Yeah. So really breaking it down for people and showing them the value in that first investment, because we know that that's the only time you get that deep 40+% discount versus our 25.
I agree. And going back to what Kelly said, having skin in the game, that is huge. We do not want somebody just signing up for $85 with no product. We want people joining this business who are going to invest in the business and have a reason to want to work that back.
Right.
So the other thing I tell them too is, hey, here's what, how much are you looking at putting into the business or starting with? We have that awesome investment calculator on behind the counter. If you guys don't know that that's there, work through it with your prospect, because you can show them how they can make that back and be profitable in their first month, depending on what their goals are. So I always say, don't let money be the hindrance of you not jumping in with something amazing, because with this, we all know that if you are working your business, you can make that back tenfold. How easy it is to sell our products, because they're amazing and they work and people love our mission. So, so that's another one that we all hear. The other one that we hear a lot of is that they're, I'm just not connected, or I don't have a big network. So how am I going to work this business if I don't feel like I know anybody? Well, I think we all know so many more people than we actually, can
give ourselves credit for.
Exactly. So, I think when people address the I'm not connected, well, I think some people think too locally. They think that they need to be super networked in where they live. But when we really think about where our network lies, it's everywhere. I mean, we have friends and people all over the place. I have clients all over the U.S. Like literally almost every state I have a client. So it doesn't always have to be so local focused. It's maybe helping them. We do have that really awesome
100%.
The Franks list out on behind the counter that you could kind of send them, like get them thinking about, like, oh yeah, my dentist, or all these people at school.
People.
Yeah. Who do they know? Yeah. So I think it's also showing them that it doesn't take a huge network to build a really incredible business with Beauty Counter. And I think we're a good example of that, how one person can really change the landscape of your business just from knowing one person. So I think we discount that piece of it quite a bit.
Right, and identifying who you're speaking to. I really find that I'm really comfortable talking to strangers or people I don't know very well, or somebody who just has a like-mindedness, and you have that connectivity in the beginning, whether it's food or yoga, or they're cleaning up their chemicals, or they love oils, whatever that relationship and the commonality is automatically the open door for the Beauty Counter conversation, because 9 times out of 10 they're already looking for that solution, and maybe they haven't found it.
Yeah.
But if they're working within that kind of full circle, trying better every day of health and wellness, they're going to be really open to your conversation.
Oh, totally. And I think it is just a matter of, I just moved to a city where I didn't know a single person going in, and it's, the last 9 months I've spent just networking my market, and it's been great. I've had a few, new consultants jump in that I've met for coffee and who have found me or watched me, or moms groups that I've joined locally. The local Lululemon store I've partnered with many times has been a really great ally. So I think explaining to your prospect on this objection that, it's a really great opportunity to get out into your community and get networked if you're not networked.
Right.
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a good one. Moving on, we have another one that we hear a lot is, I'm not into beauty. I don't wear makeup. I don't know about skincare, these formulations or skincare, or how to do my eyeliner. I don't wear mascara.
Yep.
Hey, that's totally cool, right? Because that's another thing, when you answer those questions, they're seeing themselves in you. Like, okay, you don't have to know everything to get started. And I think that women, first of all, know what they wear, what they want to wear, what they want to buy. But the other great thing is, if you're talking to somebody and they're like, I don't wear makeup. Cool, but I bet you take care of your skin.
Yeah,
and I bet you
wear
wash your
sunscreen.
baby.
Yeah,
and I bet you put body lotion on and all of these things. So,
and I bet you have people that you love that wear makeup or that need safer products too. So I think just going back to what personally drew me in, I never considered myself a skincare or makeup person. I mean, I was my cleanser ran out, I ran to Walgreens and I grabbed.
But you used products.
Something. I used products. I wasn't using great product. No. But for me, it was truly the mission that and the business opportunity that drove me to Beauty Counter. And obviously now I'm head over heels with our products and starting to learn more about products and how to wear them. So
absolutely,
yeah.
So you're going to hear objections. They're never not going to be there. And if you just turn it so that you think of those objections not as a no or I don't want to, and you think of them as opportunities to show them how you're doing your business, how it works for you, why it will work for them. And then also, I think they see anytime you can answer those objections before they even ask. Like, hey, I know you're busy, so am I, but let me show you how I worked this into 2 15 minutes during my full work day. Let me show you, hey, I know neither one of us wear makeup, but I can't not share this information with people. And I know everybody else does. So just put a little spin on it and maybe think before you're having those conversations, just to be in the mindset of helping them through, because we get really excited and we're like,
oh yeah,
like smashing an egg, out of excitement, and they're going to break. But you have to remember that they're working through this too, to give them all of the information they need to make a decision.
Exactly.
So objections are good.
Objections are great. Go out there and start recruiting people so you can get those objections, because
that's right.
Objections mean that you are actively putting yourself out there, and now you have a really great starting point to where to go from here when you get them. So
awesome.
All right. Till the next video.
Till the next conversation, right?
All right. Bye, guys.